While Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is often hailed as the Beatles' creative peak, many fans and critics still point to Revolver as the band's true turning point, the record where everything changed. It was the moment their sound exploded from black and white pop into full-blown technicolor, opening the door to the psychedelic era. John Lennon and Paul McCartney were at the height of their songwriting brilliance, crafting timeless pieces like Here, There, and Everywhere, Eleanor Rigby, and Tomorrow Never Knows. At the same time, George Harrison stepped confidently into his own voice with tracks such as Taxman, I Want to Tell You, and Love You Too. Now, after deluxe reissues of Sgt. Pepper, the White Album, Let It Be, and Abbey Road, all reimagined through the groundbreaking demixing technology pioneered by Emile de la Rey at Peter Jackson's Wingnut Films, Revolver has finally received its own spectacular re-release. Complete with a brand new stereo mix and a treasure trove of unreleased outtakes, it's a chance to rediscover the brilliance of 1966. To mark the occasion, Goldmine sat down with artist Klaus Voormann, the man behind Revolver's revolutionary black and white collage, a design that would become as iconic as the music itself. Voormann recalled how it all began in June 1966, when he received a surprise phone call from John Lennon. At first, he didn't recognize the voice on the other end. Lennon told him that the Beatles were looking for a concept for their next album cover, but had no clear vision in mind. He invited Voormann to visit EMI Studios, where the group was recording what would soon be known as Revolver. Listening to the playback sessions, Voormann was stunned. The music was unlike anything he had ever heard, experimental, avant-garde, even a little unsettling. He thought of the fans who had adored the early Beatles hits, like Love Me Do, and wondered how they would react to this daring new sound. The challenge, he realized, was to create an image that captured this bold leap into the unknown, something that reflected the album's spirit of experimentation without falling back on the familiar bright colors and smiling faces. Back in his studio, Voormann began sketching. He wanted to include plenty of photos, since fans love seeing pictures of the band, but none of his early concepts, whether a balloon or a boat motif, felt right. Then inspiration struck. The hair. It had become a defining part of the Beatles' identity, almost a cultural symbol in itself. He began experimenting with intricate pen and ink drawings, weaving the band members' hair into a surreal collage filled with hidden faces and tiny details. Using one of the first felt-tip markers ever made, he filled a large sheet with his ideas and brought the folded sketch back to EMI. When he arrived at the canteen where the band was gathered, he spread out the drawings on the table. The reaction was immediate. Without debate, all four Beatles pointed to the version with the flowing hair and miniature figures. They knew it was the one. Voormann was quietly thrilled. He had felt from the start that this concept captured exactly what they needed. Reflecting on it today, Voormann notes that the long hair that shocked so many people in the mid-60s was more than a fashion statement. It represented freedom, rebellion, and transformation. His pen and ink style, delicate yet bold, became the thread that tied the collage together. The result wasn't just a portrait, it was a visual symphony, perfectly in tune with the music that changed everything.